It was a serene afternoon at my lake cabin, a much-needed break from the usual grind of city life. The sun was shining, the birds were chirping, and I was completely at peace by the water. That is, until the son of my neighbor from the HOA came knocking on my door. He appeared with a frustrated look on his face and asked if I could share my Wi-Fi. Apparently, his internet had gone down and he needed to work. I politely explained that I couldn't lend out my Wi-Fi as it went against the terms of service, and I didn't want to risk any security issues. He didn't take it well and walked off, grumbling under his breath. I thought that was the end of it and went back to enjoying the peace and quiet. But soon my phone rang. It was a 911 call. I was puzzled but answered it anyway, and to my surprise, the dispatcher informed me that the HOA's son had called emergency services, claiming that I had refused to share my Wi-Fi and that the situation had somehow become an issue. I was stunned. I explained to the dispatcher that I had simply refused his request and that there was no emergency. The dispatcher assured me it wasn't a real emergency and they were just following up. But still, I couldn't believe how this had spiraled out of control. I was annoyed but decided not to let this go unaddressed. Fed up with the sense of entitlement for my neighbor's son and his disregard for boundaries, I decided to take action. First, I called my internet provider and had my Wi-Fi settings adjusted so that no one else could access it. But I didn't stop there. I also took the extra step of blocking the entire street from connecting to my network. It felt like a bold move, but it was the only way I could assert control over the situation. The HOA's son, having learned a lesson in humility, never bothered me again. The neighborhood buzzed with the news of the incident, but I felt empowered. I had set a firm boundary and made it clear that I wasn't going to tolerate unreasonable requests or childish behavior. From that day forward, I enjoyed uninterrupted peace and quiet at my cabin. No more Wi-Fi requests, no more 911 calls, and no more drama. I had learned to stand my ground, and it worked.